let's do a little news. Let's talk about. There's not much happening.
No.
But
Ever.
the biggest thing
Just this whole year.
on the video wall behind me, Eric Sapp kindly made that, and that is the Xbox One, the original Xbox. I can't say I'm still doing it.
Xbox
It's been
Original
3
Xbox.
years and I'm still calling it
Yeah.
the Xbox One. The original
Xbox OG.
Xbox is the OG Xbox's 15th anniversary was this week. That makes me feel kind of old because I've been covering it for 14 of those 15 years. So I wrote up a little feature this week, which was the 15, what I thought were the 15 best exclusives from the original Xbox games that were sort of known as Xbox games.
Was
But-
Shenmue 2
What
on
were
there?
they?
No,
All backwards compatible.
Was-
No.
Jet Set Radio Future on there?
just missed the cut.
Fable TLC?
Yes.
No.
See, I get the
You gotta run.
approving
You gotta run.
smile.
You know,
on
that
Marty's
doesn't mean
face.
anything.
Chicken
That doesn't
chase
mean anything.
You chase chickens. You're just going to stand there like a lemon.
Yeah, no, the couple that like just missed the cut for me. You know, it's my list. Go argue in the comments.
I'm going to.
Go in the
other
comments, Marty.
Jet Set and Panzer Dragoon Order were kind of the but you know, hey, it's my list.
What-
Go-
what were they? Can you give us some of them?
Did a Togi make it?
Well, no, also, but great game.
Ryan.
Malice.
Go make the Marty list.
make the
I
Marty
made it a week ago. You've had 15 years to prepare for this.
That's got a good point.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, I thought we'd just kind of go around and share some original Xbox memories.
Seriously,
'cause-
can we get some of what was on the list?
Go read the list. It was.
I bet it was Halo, Halo 2.
KOTOR,
Yeah.
Jade Empire,
Fable.
Splinter Cell Chaos Theory,
Ooh, good.
Fable, Breakdown, the original Steel Battalion with the badass controller. What else did I put on there? Project Gotham Racing 2.
Yes.
Psychonauts.
Acceptable list.
Yeah.
Thanks, Destin.
Mechasol?
The list is
Did
acceptable.
Mechasol was on the
Mechasol made
list.
it?
Yes. So
That's good. All right. Thank you.
yeah, you feel better
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
So Marty, I'm going to start with you. I'll just go counterclockwise.
All right. Well, since I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are going to talk about.
Because I
Because
wrote
we
it
have it
down.
written down.
Because you wrote it down.
Yeah.
It's in front of you.
I was traveling the world.
Were you? Were you?
300 miles.
I got back from Australia yesterday. No, 2 days ago. And you're like, I went to LA.
I was literally gone for 9 hours. Yeah, so just talking about some of the, I don't know, the games I still associate with the original Xbox are these like smaller things that we really haven't had follow-ups to.
That's to me what really makes the original Xbox memorable. It wasn't so much. I mean, yeah, it had the world's first built-in hard drive
Yeah.
that had never been done on a console.
What was it? What was the unit of measurement? Blocks?
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember I never went under 50,000 blocks.
No one ever did. No one. I still can't. I've covered it for this long. I can't tell you what exactly a block is as
Yeah.
far as like how many kilobytes.
We've
is
always
that?
had everyone ended with
No
over
idea.
50,000 blocks.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a system that just had, that had this just cool assortment of games. Like no one disputes the fact that the PlayStation 2 is one of the greatest consoles ever made. It had a absurdly large library with every kind of game under the sun, but the original Xbox had a lot of games that were exclusive to it and that there's sort of a Western flavor that,
Yep.
that maybe the PS2 didn't have in a lot
That's
of cases.
totally how they were different. Absolutely.
And I think one of my favorite things personally about the Xbox was the fact that it was the last console that I came late to the party to. After that, I've had pretty much every console from the big three on launch day.
Mr. Moneypants,
Mr. Money.
look at you.
I work in the industry now. What are you talking about? But that was the first one where I don't think I got it until 2003 or 4.
Well
it was
in there.
It was well in there, which meant I got it, and then all of a sudden I had like 10 games that I could play, and I got them all super cheap, and so that's when I burned through Jet Set Radio Future because Jack Ryan Radio was one of my favorite games of all time.
Did you get the bundle?
Yeah,
the
with
Jet
that
Set bundle,
Sega GT. Literally
Racing.
never played Sega GT.
So that
I think
was
it's the only game I own that I've never played.
wow. I think that was when they dropped it to $199 with that bundle, if I
Yeah.
remember right. Yeah.
I got mine because my stepdad, who was not my stepdad at the time because it was 15 years ago, he and my mum had only just started dating, and he got this phone that had an Xbox bundled with it and gave it to my sister and I for Christmas. And I think they'd been dating for a year.
Phone that had an Xbox bundled with it?
It was an insane
Australia's
deal.
weird.
But the point is, I was like, who is this man? Like, how did he give us this? And Dad was like, you guys want to play Nintendo 64? We were like,
shut up, Dad.
I can have both. What? Like, it was incredible. It's great new technology that I got from a phone deal. Yes.
So Jet Set, Marty.
Yes.
Yeah, Jet Set. Being able to go back and play like Jet Set and then Shenmue 2. Yeah, weirdly enough, games that were sequels to some of my favorite Dreamcast games of all time.
The original Xbox kind of was the spiritual successor in a lot of ways to
honestly.
the Dreamcast because Sega got behind the Xbox. They really truly sort of bought into it. I mean, those games that you mentioned were exclusives. Shenmue, exclusive to Xbox. Panzer Dragoon, Jet Set, all exclusive to the original Xbox.
Yeah, and they were all such like. It was. I remember getting it in this. I think I got it for my birthday that year, and so a summer birthday, and so that's how I spent my summer vacation, was just burning through these games, and then finally being like, "Oh, what's Halo all about?" And playing through Halo, and being like, "What the hell have I been doing?" Like, for everything great on the PS2, it didn't have great shooters. Like, there's no, and same thing with the GameCube. Like, you didn't have these great shooters, and so playing through Halo, especially as I was a console player, like I was like, "Oh, wow, this can happen. Like, this is a thing." And then, reigniting like my love of Star Wars, because it was like the prequels had just butchered my love of Star Wars, and then all of a sudden playing KOTOR and KOTOR 2, and I'm like, oh, holy crap, this is incredible. And Blinks, the cat.
We're going to bring him back. Somehow, some way, it's going to happen.
Boy's never going to get brought back. Yeah, but like, even like the quote-unquote forgettable games, like Stubbs the Zombie and like
Stubbs is great.
Yeah, like these are games that I just have such fond memories of. And they were games like, I don't know if I had to review them now, like, I wouldn't be gushing over them, but they're games that, like, when I look back, like, I have such fun nostalgia playing through those games.
They had a charm to them, and I've thought about this a lot, especially over the last week with this anniversary and in preparation for it. They're games that, if they were trying to be made now, no publisher would ever greenlight them.
Yeah.
And
Stubbs the Zombie.
Yeah.
It would just not get made. Like, Steel Battalion.
Yeah.
There's no way on any planet Capcom would, or anyone else,
a $200
would
barrier
ever
entry.
make a $200 game with a proprietary 40-something button controller
that
with
you
a
would
pedal
only
box
use for this
one
game.
game.
Yeah. It was pretty
would
quirky.
never happen.
Yeah.
But back then, because it's sort of the good and bad of the industry growing up is the hardware is more powerful, the games can do more, but at the same time, everything
100 Call of Duties.
Yeah, everything costs so much more to make that the publishers are more risk averse, and there's just no way anybody's going to make.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest we got to Jet Set Radio is the beloved Sunset Overdrive, which didn't sell super great.
This
by
is your
all
weekly
accounts.
reminder to buy Sunset Overdrive.
Please buy Sunset
free
Overdrive.
Yeah. You monsters.
It's a really good game.
Yeah.
Alana, you were in diapers?
I was really, really, really young, so I don't remember this console quite as vividly
Now I
as
feel
I
old.
think everyone else does. But the memories that I have on it are ones that, I started with a Nintendo 64, and that was my introduction to shooters because it was Perfect Dark and GoldenEye, and I played a lot of and Jeff Osterman. I played a lot of those games. So then, the first thing that I played fully in co-op was Brute Force, which I've spoken about a million times on the show.
The next Halo, according to official Xbox magazine. I wasn't
quite.
there for
Not
that.
quite.
Don't blame that one on me.
My sister and I played that entire game together, and we played loads of games together in my childhood, and then it kind of got to a point where she stopped playing games and I continued. It was like we just had a fork. But when we were kids, we played an equal amount, and I played that entire game with my sister. And I always remember my mom watching because my sister would hide behind rocks and make me do all the shooting. So it was like I was playing it, and she would just be like cowering in a corner, and I'd be like, "What? We're playing together. It's
there
fun."
was the redheaded sniper lady. There was the alligator
invisible,
monster
I think, the
guy.
alligator
Lizard
monster.
Man.
There was the sort of
buff white dude.
Yes, the generic.
Wait, a video game at a buff white dude?
Yeah.
And I can't
You don't
remember
say.
who the fourth character was.
I can't either.
But I reviewed
you could
that
swap
game.
between them, and it was
You
pretty
could.
cool. They had different abilities,
Yep.
and
Digital Anvil. Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
that's right.
I just remember
Yeah.
the way that Buff White Dude #1, you in lots of levels you would be searching for alien doodads, is what they referred to like the intel as. You'd be like the alien doodad, and you'd be like every single time. It's also the first game that I ever played where I had to control the camera and movement at the same time, and I distinctly remember running into a lot of walls. It took me such a long time to figure that out.
It's especially when you're younger. It's not easy to
It's
sort
tough.
out the dual thumbstick.
Well, you say when you're younger, but man, my mom sucks at Portal. Like, I feel like older people have trouble with that too.
It's not an easy concept to grasp.
Man,
like
that's a really
physical-
interesting. I mean, I'm trying to think what was the first game where I had to navigate 2 analog sticks. I mean, it must have been the PS2 because I got the PS2 at launch, and so some awful early PS2, like the bouncer, some trash like that.
It was hard, dude.
Yeah.
Then on top of that was like Halo, which is obviously absolutely incredible. I played that at a friend's house and basically didn't leave. And then Project Gotham Racing, which are two things that like took what I knew of either racing games or shooters and just blew them up. It was like, holy crap, this is what video games can be. It was
even Project Gotham Racing itself has a lineage to the Dreamcast because it was the spiritual sequel to Metropolis Street Racer,
Really?
which was a Dreamcast.
That's really
game
cool.
Hey, this is weird.
by Bizarre Creations.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And Blinks is a weird furry, and Sonic's a weird furry. We're onto it. I didn't know what camera to
Nailed
look
it.
at.
Big the cat.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I remember. So, I mean, I've told the story about how I actually didn't have an original Xbox until I graduated in May of 2002. You know, system came out in November of 2001, and I started sending resumes out to every video game magazine or website I could think of to try and get a job doing this. And when official Xbox magazine came back and was like, "Okay, we'd like to fly you out for an interview," then I went, I guess I better buy one of these things and see what it's all about.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
So I bought it with Halo, and it was like 2 months before the price dropped. It was just like, ugh.
So brutal.
But yeah, and I just remember thinking, like, I was a PC guy at that point, so I was first-person shooters were my bag, and so Halo was. It didn't really hit me how great Halo was as a PC guy until I played multiplayer.
Yeah.
And we used to do that at OXM every day at 5:00. So we'd be working all day on the magazine, and then someone, whether it was me or Frank O'Connor, who's now the head of franchise development at 343, or Dave or our boss Mike, would you just hear, they'd turn on their TV, they'd turn on their Xbox, and you just hear the startup screen for Halo with the pills, like the cells and whatever, that white and blue screen, and then you'd hear the monks start up on the title screen, and then it was literally Pavlovian. Yeah, everybody would just be like, "Oh, okay," and then everybody turns on their Xbox. Blood Gulch, all CTF,
Blood Gulch is so damn good.
All vehicles on, no blocking the teleporters, the occasional hang 'em high mixed in there. It was just the best. I mean, because nothing inspires that anymore. Because everything is just like, well, go online and get in a party chat. And I don't know, I don't want to get too crotchety old man about it, but there was something just great about the
I mean, I had that with Age of
system-wide thing back
Empires
then.
on PC, where all my friends would just land together and play loads of Age of Empires, and I still miss that because now everyone's like, well, we all have all these different games. We can play online with different people. Why would we play them in the same room?
I know.
Yeah, I had that very similar experience with Halo 2. It came out my first semester of college. I was living in the dorms, and I got it the night it came out. And
November 9th, 2004.
And then we ended up buying 2 extra controllers, and we just put it on in our dorm room. And I remember like going to class.
I was 11.
Yeah, were you in college too?
I just
Were you
keep
like
thinking about it. You were in
Doogie
college
Howser?
when I was 11.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was covering the Halo 2 launch. I was at Bungie reviewing the game.
It's like every time I'm like, wait, how
You
far
get
is
a breadth
everyone
of
in
experiences on this podcast.
That's right.
Yeah,
we got
there
you
go.
covered.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, it was one of those things. I feel like that Xbox was on for the better part of 24 hours straight of just random people walking into the room and playing multiplayer.
Oh, that's
Split
awesome.
screen. Yeah, it was so
super
fun.
cool.
Yeah, which, like you said, you don't really get that anymore.
I mean, the closest thing that we have to that now would be VR. Where you have VR, and if you just like have it, people are super interested in it every time they see it. I was totally like that with Halo because I saw it at someone else's house and was like, "What is this?"
Smash Brothers was like that when it came
Oh,
out. Actually,
totally.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
For sure.
We'd put it on the big screen and people would gather around it.
Yeah.
Then I remember when, because Burnout's my favorite racing series of all time. Rest in peace,
How
Burnout.
many Burnout games were there on original Xbox?
On the original
Technically.
Xbox,
Like 4?
I don't know if the first Burnout came out on Xbox or not, but 2 did.
Yeah.
And I remember when we got 2.
Was there like variant of them though? I feel like there was a lot of Burnout games.
Yeah,
on
there was
original.
2, there was 3 Takedown. Revenge also came to Xbox
3
and
is
360.
Takedown.
Yeah.
3 and Takedown.
Yeah,
Burnout
I meant 3. I meant
is
3
Burnout 3
colon
and
Takedown.
Takedown. Yeah. And then Revenge, and that was the last one on the original Xbox before we got Paradise and the live arcade, the pinball like. What was it called again? Oh, Burnout Crash, right?
Yeah.
Which was not.
Yeah.
No, we don't talk about that. But I remember when Burnout 2, because when Burnout 2 came out, Burnout wasn't a thing at that point. But Burnout 2 is where they introduced the crash mode.
Yeah.
I remember we got it in the office, and I remember Frank had it fired up and he was in the crash mode, and we started passing the the controller back and forth of like, okay, let's see what you can do. And that's where we fell in love with Burnout. We were like, this is something real special.
And that was like wholly unique in the game. Like I had never seen that in a game
because you'd never been not only had you never been encouraged to hit other cars in racing games, you'd never been allowed to even hit other cars in racing games. Like
or
you
damage them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was. I just remember that. I have this vivid memory over at Frank's desk of just like passing the controller and sort of discovering Burnout for the first time with Burnout 2. And then when 3 came out,
I was about to say Takedown was the one that did that for me. Yeah,
that was the GOAT, man.
Yeah.
I will put that today against any other racing game.
Yeah,
that's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Similarly to that, the original Xbox was my introduction to GTA. GTA
Oh, really?
Vice City,
So you
and
didn't
San
play
Andreas.
until the double pack.
Triple pack.
right?
Double pack first, triple pack later.
Yeah. I played the triple pack, and
Okay.
it was like this crappy like black box that had beautiful art on the side of it, but got really tatty really quickly, and that's just the amount of stuff you could do in GTA for that point in time compared to everything else was mind blowing.
Yeah.
There's so many new experiences there. It was crazy.
And I guess we touched on it earlier, but Fable.
Yeah, Fable's awesome.
I feel like we've talked about Fable to death.
Stand there like a lemon.
To its death.
To its death.
We
Yeah.
killed it.
Oh, we killed it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We didn't kill it.
Well,
at
we
all.
killed it because
dang.
you said
We
Fable,
tried to save
because
it.
you like Fable 1 better than Fable 2, and that's an incorrect opinion. That's why we.
That is incorrect.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
Fable
is.
1 is way better.
No, it's an incorrect opinion.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No.
Yes. We have 2 disagreements on this show.
What's the other one? Is it Arkham?
No, what was the first? We disagreed. Oh, Watch Dogs.
Oh, yeah, we've disagreed twice.
Incredible.
Wow.
Record
It's
setting.
amazing. Yep.
Guys are going to be.
But basically the same person.
Yeah.
So.
Not good. Yeah, asthma.
We should talk about Fable, though. That is one of the first games that I played that I remember just being super funny.
We're getting there.
Like the humor in Fable and how cheeky it was.
Yeah.
Was like one of the most appealing parts of me. It was like,
to
stuff
this
people
day,
would say and-
the charm of Fable. We've said it a million times. That's what makes Fable Fable.
Yeah.
Is the charm of it, and that's what Peter Molyneux and his team really nailed. I mean, there was the now infamous promise of you can plant an acorn and it'll grow into an entire tree. But I'm like, the game didn't turn out to be able to do that.
No.
But it just had this
Monty Python.
adorable
honestly.
charm to it that
like that witch lady who's in, I think, Bowerstone. And you have to like help someone's kid, and she makes you get her all this stuff that she didn't even need. Like she's just blatantly using you and is like making fun of you while she does it. And I was like, this game tricked me. It's like nothing like that has happened in anything that I played before that either. I guess maybe a little in Perfect Dark.
So I played the original Fable a bit, and I always play Paragon in all my games. But then I let a friend of I was like kind of getting out of it, and a friend of mine's like, "Hey, I want to play that. Do you mind if I just pick up where you left off?" I come back, and he's the evilest.
You have devil horns.
He has horn. I'm like, "What did you do to my character?"
He ate all those chickens.
Yeah. And he was just like very evil, and I was shocked at how dramatically my character had changed.
I think you start smelling if you're evil. You have like this green wafting around you because you smell, and there's flies that'll fly around you and stuff.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I associate the original Xbox as the console I associate the first experiences of like morality in games with
KOTOR.
with KOTOR,
Fable,
Fable. Jade Empire had the open palm, closed fist,
which was it was this exact rip off of. I mean, it was the same developer, but
yes. But that was the first time because I don't that sort of stuff didn't exist in like
Correct.
the 64-bit era, the 32-bit era, really.
Yep.
And so like it's weird because we take that for granted because now if you chuck a rock in the office, you'll hit a game with a morality system. But it just didn't exist really before that. I guess you couldn't really do anything.
I wonder what
I
game
mean, it
pioneered
existed
that.
probably on PC.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned KOTOR because I remember I reviewed that game, and that's still I haven't played it recently, so maybe if I played it now, it wouldn't hold up so great. But
KOTOR?
yeah,
I'm pretty sure KOTOR holds up.
KOTOR holds a place in my heart. To me, it is my favorite role playing game ever, bar none. It's I have such fond memories of it. And I remember when reviewing it, I went to LucasArts to get the review build of the game. Mm-hmm. Normally, the publisher would just send a debug disc. They just send the DVD and it'll work on our debug kits. But there was KOTOR was so big at the time, meaning it was barely going to fit onto a single DVD, that they had to do some sort of wizardry at the end to compress it down. So I actually, for the review build, I went up to LucasArts in Marin, up north across the Golden Gate Bridge, and they actually installed it onto my debug. And so I went to get it. And then I just remember going back, and then the next 40 hours were some of the best game playing ever.
Yeah. What about, like, up until I got this job, I was the biggest Star Wars fan I knew. And then I got this job and I'm like the 30th biggest Star Wars fan in the office. But like I read all the books throughout the 90s and everything. And KOTOR came out and I'm like, take away the original 3 movies and this is the best Star Wars thing ever.
Yep.
Like far and away better than any game, better than any book, obviously better than the prequels. Now we have a lot of really amazing Star Wars media. But yeah, playing through that, I'm just like, this is the Star Wars game I've always wanted and I didn't know I'd ever get.
I don't know if I'm right, but I remember the voice acting being very bad. Is that a thing?
No, I don't remember
I feel like
that.
I remember it being like super exeguerated.
I mean, the only voice I remember was HK.
HK.
And it was great.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, and he was great. He called me a meatbag. Rude Robo.
I remember Tomonobu Itagaki coming to our office.
We didn't even talk about Ninja Gaiden yet.
To demo Ninja Gaiden for us. And I just remember he comes in, and he comes in, I didn't know him yet.
Yeah.
Like I would come to know him, and it's just this guy, this game designer walks in, long hair, a black leather jacket, sunglasses inside. Yeah. And it's just like, who is this guy? What is going on? And then he just fires up Ninja Gaiden, and it's just like, my chair just falls over from how incredible this game is.
And it looked so good on that platform.
And it ran at 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that game was
like,
everything.
what?
Yeah.
I still believe, with all due respect to the Devil May Cry's and et cetera of the world, I think Ninja Gaiden and specifically Ninja Gaiden Black, which came later, which was sort of a 1.3 version.
Yeah.
I think it's the greatest fast action game of all time.
Yeah, I think it's on Mount Rushmore. It's actually literally on America's Mount Rushmore.
Just
changed
Ryu.
it.
Yeah.
Ryu is just a
suck it,
I
Washington.
really like Ryu as a character as well. And I finished the first Ninja Gaiden on the hardest difficulty.
nice Master Ninja difficulty.
And I put that on my resume when I applied at IGN. It was like listed as like achievements or
you
whatever.
could have made that up because there was no achievement.
yeah.
That's true. No one
we
would know.
can't even. We couldn't even fact check that
Why would I lie about it?
because you want a job.
Also-
True. That's the sole reason they hired me.
Also, what you're interviewing with Andrew, like you chose the wrong game. You should have been like Spelunky.
That's true.
Made it through hell in Spelunky.
hired.
All the social links in Persona.
I was interviewed by like 20 people.
You know what game wasn't good? Dino Crisis 3.
Oh, damn.
Should we? Oh, we're not talking about the battle modes.
Positive memories on the 15th anniversary.
Hey, those
Marty.
dinosaurs you loved, now they're in space. It's like, no, thank you.
But,
Well-
Ninja Gaiden, Alma being the most difficult boss.
God, almost.
She was only halfway through the game.
Yeah.
That game too. I mean, Ninja Gaiden was
It wasn't afraid to be difficult.
They're
Oh,
all
no.
still very difficult,
and
all of them.
It's a long game. Like
It
Ninja
is.
Gaiden, like today you would think, oh, okay, you think Ninja Gaiden is probably like 6 hours.
No
no.
way.
It's like 15.
No, I would have thought it was like 20.
It's probably 20 plus.
Yeah.
Also, it's one of those games where like the Souls games are hard, but my whole thing with them is just be patient and you'll be fine. Be patient. But with Ninja Gaiden, it's like, no, you just you might not
So-
be able to do this.
The difference is Souls games are like a dance, and it's like when you learn the dance,
Yeah.
you can become good at the dance. Ninja Gaiden's just mean.
It's just
like,
a mosh pit.
See, I disagree. I think it's actually the opposite. I respect the heck out of the Dark Souls series, but it's built to punish you on purpose.
Oh, sure. There's stuff where it's like a boulder just comes out of nowhere and kills you. That stuff sucks.
Ninja
But you
Gaiden
learn. Yes.
it's not masochistic. It's not sadistic.
So I feel
But
like
it's
You
just
have to master the skills.
you have
Yeah.
exactly. You have to
Right.
you need to know which attacks to use, when to unleash your like charged attacks, what weapon to use in what situation. It is just like you just have to rise to the challenge in Ninja Gaiden.
the reason I would call Ninja Gaiden mean is because you have to like on the hardest difficulties of all of those games, you have to just press buttons so many times because everything has so much health.
I think that's the whole thing is like, I don't think I have my hands have the physical dexterity to ever master a game like that or a fighting game.
It can legitimately hurt.
Whereas like with the Souls games, I think it's for me, 99% of it's mental.
Well, the Souls
That's
games
fair.
are
Yeah.
also, I mean, they are pretty different things, but in terms of combat, the Souls games is like...
If you're
the thing
jamming
can
the
kill
attack button,
you
you're gonna
very-
die.
Yeah, and the thing can kill you very easily, so it's more about you responding, and you wait, whereas with Ninja Gaiden, it's like, I have to hit you as many times as I possibly can.
When you get good at Ninja Gaiden,
dude, it looks so good.
feels so
It
good.
looks so good.
So good.
Yeah. Ninja Gaiden's great.
We have our little YouTube channel with theoretically some Let's Plays of Xbox.
Hey, did
I
Gears of War go
really,
up?
really want to
cool.
do a Ninja Gaiden Let's Play now.
That'd be cool.
I'm looking for an
the
excuse to
first
go
one?
back and
That'd be rad.
Looking for an excuse to go back
Do you
and
reckon
play
they'll
it.
ever make another Ninja Gaiden? When was the last one?
mean,
It was like
so-
Black?
No,
Three?
3, which was not well received at all. Then they put it out. They put out the
different version.
Razer version.
Razor's Edge?
Yeah, for
that
Wii
was
U,
it?
which fixed a lot of it, but it still had a lot of the
we also
stain
got
on it.
that in Australia on everything else. I think it's because we had R18 passed. So
Oh,
they
okay.
released that in Australia on all platforms.
Team
Pretty
Ninja,
sure.
they're finishing up Neo now, which is sort of Ninja Gaiden meets Dark
Yeah,
Souls
weirdly
in a
enough.
weird way. So yeah, I hope they'll go back to, even though Itagaki's gone and a lot of the team is gone, I'd love to see Hayashi. It's Hayashi, right?
Yeah.
Who runs the studio now. I'd love to see them take one more crack.
They also just had really nice settings.
Yes.
Like what they do differently is they were just very Japanese settings that look different from a lot of other stuff that I played.
Every boss was different. The
Yeah.
helicopter boss, your uncle, there
They're all
was
a bunch of
Alma, there
jokes.
was
My damn uncle.
The big two, the helicopter and Alana's uncle.
not your uncle. Maybe it's your uncle.
Hashtag
I don't know
not
your
your
uncle.
He might do that.
The building's on fire at the time. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's literally the first boss of the game.
Yeah.
Level 1, here you go.
Yeah. That was
Fighting uncle.
insane.
And then Destin, I know you were talking earlier, Rainbow Six 3, which a lot of people are probably too young to realize how big of a deal that was back then, because it was the year before Halo 2.
Yeah, I mean,
That was like the biggest killer app on live until Halo 2 came around.
so Rainbow Six 3 came packaged with a headset, which is why I bought it, and I'm sure a lot of people bought it. It reviewed well. People liked the campaign and the multiplayer.
And it didn't come with that headset for multiplayer. That was just a bonus.
Yeah, it was a bonus. It was the single player stuff. You could actually do voice commands and move your characters around and
Ooh, cool.
command
Issue
your team. It
commands.
was really neat,
It was
and it
really
worked,
cool.
It worked well, actually, for the campaign portion of the game. But then you could also use it online. And online, this was like the first game where, clans started popping up and
Yes.
stuff, where you could like have a crew that you go in with regularly and hop in a warehouse. And it had this lean mechanic that like you hadn't really seen before in a shooter. And like
Wolfenstein?
I don't think you could lean in Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein
then?
had. I think so.
later possibly.
Yeah,
but
maybe after.
It was really, really just fascinating, like how big the community was around Rainbow Six 3, and it was a really, really good shooter experience.
It's sort of the more one shot, one kill type thing. Whereas, the other game, the later Halo and Mech Assault and those kind of things were just more arcadey action.
Yeah.
And there's certain levels where you got to get out of here really quick, because if I throw a grenade there, I'm gonna wipe out the whole other team,
Yeah.
and that'll just be the round.
Yeah.
So like if you got really good and you fought a scrub team who's like figuring stuff out in the beginning, you could throw a grenade a certain way, and you're getting
Wipe
2 to 3
everyone
kills.
out. Yeah, I mean, Rainbow Six is still awesome as well. I love Vegas and Vegas 2. I didn't play 3, and Siege. Have you played a lot of Siege?
I played a bit of Siege where you can destroy the house. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pushing mechanics, and Siege is now like a fully competitive game. They're
And
releasing an update this week.
It's
Yes.
bigger than ever.
For
It has actually grown since
such
its
a
release,
good
which is a
game.
testament to it. And
The Rainbow franchise is a fantastic.
It is.
it's great to
franchise.
see it back because, I mean, it was great on PC, but it really did. It was the original Xbox that with Rainbow Six 3 that took Rainbow Six to the next level. And it was so sad that it laid dormant for so many years
Yeah.
after
After Patriots.
Vegas and Vegas 2.
Yeah.
So while everybody talks about their Halo and Halo 2 memories, for me, I have stronger memories about Rainbow Six 3 because that's the first time I'm like, hey guys, I'm not really good at this. And like I started adding people to my friends list so I didn't know. And they were teaching me mechanics about the game and really strategies and stuff like that. And it really got me into multiplayer shooters.
Do you still play with any of those people?
No.
I had that with Gears 1. I like wasn't very good at it when I started playing it and then made friends with people online and had those friends that I played with for a full year almost every night.
Yeah, and you got really good, right?
I got pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, I wish I could go back in time to fall of 2002 on the original Xbox in the first Ghost Recon. They ported Ghost Recon 1, and it was a launch game for Xbox Live. And back then, if anything you jumped into in Xbox Live, it was the earliest of early adopters, meaning it was all people who really wanted to be there. It was like
It's probably
it's the hipster thing. It was like I was there before. It was
probably
cool.
like the least toxic online community
That's
ever.
exactly it. It was I just have such great memories of playing online matches of Ghost Recon, which again, a one shot, one kills. Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six were cousins. They were cousin series. Rainbow came first, and then Ghost Recon as sort of the like big outdoor version of Rainbow Six. And you'd get in there on Xbox Live because remember at the time it was a novelty. It was unheard of that everyone had a microphone. That because on PC you could never guarantee that was never a thing. That had not happened before. So everybody's chatting, and you'd play Ghost Recon on Xbox Live, and it was everyone's cooperating, saying, "Okay, guy over here, I'm over here." It was the best.
Yeah.
I wish that Live still existed.
When was the last Ghost Recon?
Future Soldier, which was really good, but kind of came and went fairly quickly, and that was.
There's a new one coming out. Wildlands.
She's asking when the last one was.
And Wildlands does not feel like a Ghost Recon
game. Oh, not
game.
at all.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had Splinter Cell. The last Splinter Cell was Blacklist
2013.
Good game, man. Anytime I think about it, I'm like, I gotta finish that campaign. I never did.
I never did either.
Because like I'm all about like perfecting the missions. So I was playing on the hardest difficulty because I love the Splinter Cell series and just trying to get through every mission. And I just kind of hit a wall about halfway through.
Yeah.
That would
Great
be,
game.
and that would be my other great original Xbox memory was
Chaos Theory.
First Pandora Tomorrow of Spies versus Mercs multiplayer. 2-on-2.
Yeah.
Two of you are spies who can't. You have no lethal equipment at all. Damn. You have a shock rifle to temporarily stun. You have some other gadgets, and then you had two. The other team was two mercenaries. The spies played in third person. The mercs played in first person.
Yeah.
The mercs were slow and had a limited field of view and were heavily armed. And the spies are trying to get in and
take them out,
complete some sort of objective. But you could come up from behind them, grab them if you could sneak up because they could hear you. But if you could get up, sneak up, and then you could, because back then again there was no party chat, so you just have there's sort of one universal communication standard, and it would if you grab someone, it would open the channel so that you could taunt the other guy as you've got him, and then you could just snap his neck and continue on.
Yeah, that's still probably the best. Asymmetrical multiplayer.
I would absolutely concur with that. The best. They tried to bring it back with Blacklist.
Yeah.
It just wasn't quite the same. It didn't feel right to me.
That's like the only mode I played was Classic, though.
Yeah. It felt, I don't know, it was 4-on-4, which was totally wrong for that mode, in my opinion. And it felt too fast to me. Like they should go back and play Pandora Tomorrow. Turn on their own servers for a few minutes, but
was Double Agent on the original Xbox?
There was a version of it for the original Xbox.
Those are almost like two different games, right?
Chaos Theory was more. Oh wait,
no. The Double Agent for Xbox and the Double Agent for 360.
I played the 360
and
one.
The original Xbox version is weirdly regarded as the better version of the two games.
So they are super different.
I hope I'm remembering that right.
I love the concept of Double Agent. I thought it was awesome, but.
I wonder if I might be thinking because Chaos Theory was
just Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I think so too.
Right. You got it.
I mean, if you're not, there's no cops.
I'm too old. Too old. But happy 15th birthday to the original Xbox.
Old enough to drink.
in Marty's house.
No, I don't invite 15-year-olds to drink at my house, Ryan.
I'm saying maybe you were drinking at 15. It's Wisconsin. What else are you doing?
Polishkin, Wisconsin.
So yeah, happy birthday, Original Xbox. God, 15 years already. We'll have to start prepping for the 20th anniversary now. We got 5 years.
Yeah, still
Were you
working
here
on that
5
list.
years ago? Did we do a? Did you do a?
No, I was
Okay.
here 4 and about a half years ago.
Yeah,
Get close, but no cigar.
that's for the 16th birthday. You get a cigar.
Nailed it.
I also just wanted to give a shout out to all the Xbox social media channels right now are doing a lot of really, really cool stuff surrounding this. The Snapchat is awesome. Like they're doing a lot of really creative stuff and sharing like old prototypes of consoles and stuff. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, like the first they showed
The-
this
the
one
actual
today.
X one
Yeah,
and-
is really neat.
Yeah, doing good stuff.
Yeah, Seamus Blackley has been telling some cool little behind
Yeah.
the scenes anecdotes. And if you're feeling extra nostalgic right now after that segment, go watch Unlock 201 and thank me later. It's the best thing I'll ever do, and I should probably have stopped after that. And shouldn't even still be going
been
right
down.
now.
You didn't put Jet Set Radio on the feature, so that 15 games feature definitely wasn't.
That just buries it forever.